Hello, folks. Thanks for coming back. We are chatting UFC Sao Paulo and the main event of the evening. There's been a shuffling of the fighters here. What originally was supposed to be Jailton Almeida versus Curtis Blades has now become Jailton Almeida versus company man Derrick Lewis in what should be and could be one of the shortest heavyweight bouts the UFC has ever seen. You look up and down these fighters' records, and they have a flair for the dramatic. Both of these fighters' finishers. Jailton Almeida, the incredible growing man who has on Contender Series came in at 203 pounds, now seems to be a legitimate heavyweight. He has grown into this physique. You could look at the picture I posted there. That's an incredible physique, how he's grown into that frame at 32 years of age. He's taken his strength and conditioning extremely serious. And this fight takes place down in Brazil. 32 years of age, 19-2 overall record. What blew my mind when I was researching this matchup, what jumped off the page, these two fighters have combined 52 finishes in their fights. Either they've been finished or they have finished their opponent 52 times, and they're, I believe, under 60 total fights. So that is an incredible number. And you look at Derrick Lewis on the other side of the fight. He is going to come here and swang and bang, as he always does. Unfortunately, Derrick Lewis has been relegated to a gatekeeper at this stage in his career, the tail end of his career. He had lost a number of fights in a row prior to taking on Marcos Rogerio de Lima. And de Lima, you saw the money from a betting angle pour in on de Lima, and de Lima got blown out of the water. The knees. It was the first time we've seen Derrick Lewis come in under, I believe, 265 pounds in quite some time. He came in at 263.5 or 263.8 pounds. And here in this specific matchup, I know we don't have props out yet, but I'll be looking to target the unders if they're within a certain strikeable range. Now, I ask, how often do you expect this fight to finish? This fight is scheduled to go 5 rounds. And that blows my mind here, that this fight between Derrick Lewis and Jailton Almeida, you look up and down their record, and these two fighters have a propensity to put their opponent's lights out. Now, Jailton Almeida, I will say this, you watch his previous fights, he does have a tendency to play with his food at times prior to getting the finish. And I've seen folks get burned targeting the TKO prop instead of the submission prop here. But both options are on the table here. I suspect Almeida is going to come out looking to. It might be difficult to land the takedown right off the bat, so he might come out trying to chop Derrick Lewis down, and that could be a recipe for disaster here against Derrick Lewis, who is the explosive fighter, and he has dynamite in his hands. Derrick Lewis, as we've seen many times before. Remember the Daukaus fight. There have been so many others. That's the last thing to go on a lot of these heavyweight fighters, their power. They can hold on to that, but the quickness tends to go. The durability tends to go. The chin could potentially be gone. And Jailton Almeida, we talk about chins. I don't necessarily trust that Jailton Almeida is going to be able to take any strikes from Derrick Lewis if any of them land clean. We've seen Jailton Almeida on the regional scene get knocked out. And I don't trust Almeida on the feet. He can't sit around here and play games. He's got to get this fight to the mat by whatever means necessary, by any means necessary, and then take over from there. So I believe that if I'm personally targeting action here, I'd be on the hunt for under 2.5, under 1.5. That might be ballooned out to minus 200 or so, even juicier than that, but we'll see how the odds makers line this fight. I'm anticipating this heavyweight matchup. And if you have tickets for the event, just be prepared to get out to the parking lot and get to your car afterwards. And you'll probably get out there pretty quickly because this fight should end in relatively short fashion. So I'm going to be picking Jailton Almeida to win this fight inside the distance. And I believe the under 1.5 is likely what will hit. But Almeida, pick your poison, submission or ground and pound. That is, or are you expecting a Derrick Lewis knockout? If you wouldn't mind letting me know in the comments section, that would be a big help as well. And by the way, if you could thanks for tuning in today. If you could subscribe to the channel, that's a big help for us here as we continue to put out content on a regular basis. Have some other videos up in that have just been released also at UFC 295's main event between John Jones and Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title. Take a look at that. And I've got many, many, many others headed your way. So thanks for tuning in. Jailton Almeida, let's see what happens. He's going to be the pick here, but inside the distance, possibly under 2.5. We don't have odds available yet for those props. And Derrick Lewis, he could come out here and shock the world as he's done so many times before. But cheers to everybody. We're getting this video out in under 6.5 minutes. Have a great rest of your day and go get what's yours.